It's pitch black. My body is entirely sore and I'm sleep deprived. There's a knock on my door. You ready to go? 3 days earlier, I told my mom I wanted to start working out with her. And since she went every morning at 5 a.m., I told her, wake me up and I'll go with you. I was motivated. And the first 2 days, I went. But day 3, when she knocked on my door, I did not want to leave. And I didn't. I told her, I'll go tomorrow. And she said, okay, and left. Then tomorrow came and I said, my body's a little bit sore. I think I should wait. And I kept giving excuses until she stopped coming to the door. That's just one story. But I can tell you hundreds of stories that follow the same pattern. Where I was motivated to do something, I did it for a little bit, and I lost the motivation and quit. I can talk about the countless books I started, but quit writing after a week. I can talk about the YouTubes I started and stopped filming after 3 days. I can tell you about all the skills I wanted to learn, I was excited to learn, but never stuck with it because my motivation always left. It is a struggle to stay motivated, but I'm here to tell you that there is a way to stay motivated more often than you're not. There will be times when your motivation does wane, and you can use discipline to help you out. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to have way more motivated days than ever before. When I learned how to stay motivated, everything changed for me. I went from the person who stopped going to the gym after 3 days to somebody who's worked out every single day for 700 plus days. I went from somebody who could never complete a book, who would stop after a week of writing, to somebody who's written over 700 days, written hundreds of blogs, completed 100-page workbooks, and that all came from understanding how to stay motivated. It is really easy to stay motivated once you understand the principle of stopping when it feels good. Too often, when we get motivated, we get pumped and we do way too much too soon. Like for me, when I was motivated to work out in the morning, my mom, I told her, wake me up at 5 a.m. when I never got up that early to go work out for an hour when I was just starting out. So no wonder when I started doing that thing, my motivation for it tanked because I was going way too hard. And the same thing for writing. Whenever I got interested in writing a new book, I would spend hours every single day writing. And my motivation tanked. For any skill I wanted to learn, I would spend hours trying to learn that skill, and my motivation would tank because I was doing way too much. It wasn't until I read Atomic Habits that I learned the concept of doing the bare minimum. Think about a car and a gas tank. You've got gas in the car so you can drive wherever you want. Naturally, as you use the gas, it drains. Now with a car, you can see when the gas is going down, and you can go to a gas station and fill back up. Well, motivation works the same way. You have a tank full of motivation. And when you get motivated by something, the more you do it, the more you use that motivation energy, and the more it starts to drain and drain. Now, the difference between a car and motivation is that with a car, you can see when your fuel is getting low, you can get more gas. With motivation, you can't see when your motivation fuel is getting to dangerous levels, so you never have time to recharge it. Now, what happens is, you run out of fuel for your motivation, it goes away, and you stop doing that thing altogether, and then you're left wondering, why can't you stay motivated? The reason you can't stay motivated is because you're using up that fuel without letting it recharge. And it's understandable why you do this, because when you're excited, you want to dive into that thing. It's like when you got a video game and you just dive into it because you're excited to play it and you play it all night long, and you play it for weeks straight, and then the game just kind of gets boring. You kind of get over it. We mistakenly think that when we're excited, that's an excuse to go all out on that thing we're excited about. But the truth is, you gotta stop even when you're excited to keep doing that thing, because that will leave motivation to come back to it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Doing the bare minimum, at least in the beginning, is how you can stop yourself from using too much of your motivation and running it dry. Now, like I said in the beginning, as you keep doing that thing over and over again, eventually it will get easier. You don't need as much motivation to do it, and now you can increase it. But in the very beginning, if you struggle to stay motivated, in the very beginning, you need to do the bare minimum. When it comes to doing anything new, I always do the bare minimum first until I adjust to it. I do the bare minimum. I stop when I feel good. I don't stop when I'm tired and drained. When you stop when you feel good, you're left with this good feeling about that thing you're doing. So tomorrow, you aren't thinking, oh God, I was drained when I finished. I'm going to be drained again. No, you're like, oh, I'm excited to get back to it. And I'm using that concept right now with YouTube. I record for 1 hour or until the completion of a video. I don't post every day, but I make sure to record every single day. And there are some times where I'm excited, I'm pumped, and I just finished recording a video and I want to do another one because I got this new idea. But I don't let myself. If I were to let myself make more than one video today, and tomorrow and the day after, eventually that fuel, that motivation would tank, and I would not want to keep doing this. But because I tell myself, no, 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 you're just doing one, you can save that for tomorrow. Well, I'm excited to get back to it. And that's how you want to be. You don't want to stop doing anything on a bad note. You want to stop it on a good note by doing the bare minimum. So what does the bare minimum look like? For me, with recording, it looks like just recording for 1 hour. I could go crazy and then say, okay, I'm going to record 3 videos today, and then tomorrow I'll do 3 and just record for 4 hours every day. But that would drain me. Another example is when I got myself into reading. Instead of trying to make myself read 1 chapter a day, I just read until I got to a really good part that I just got interested in. I want to dive into it, and then I stopped. And the same thing with working out. I would start going outside for just one nice walk around the block. And it felt good, and I could go longer, a lot longer. I could even go run if I wanted to, but I told myself, no, you're going to do this 1 walk, and then tomorrow you do it again and again. And what this did was it kept me excited for the next day where I can do this again and again. And over time, I started doing more and doing more and doing more. But it was more of a progression instead of me saying I want to do this and then immediately going to the extreme. Instead of me saying I want to do this, so I'm going to slowly build my way up to the point where I want to get at. But I'm not going to jump right there. I'm going to start and build up to it. Too many of us, we start at the highest level when we get motivated. But really, we should start at the lowest level and slowly build up so that each level we get to, we can sustain it instead of losing the motivation to continue. If you actually want to keep your motivation, start at ground zero. Follow the 2-minute rule. Any new thing you want to do it for only 2 minutes and then quit. And if you really want to do more than that, don't. Because you want to keep that motivation, keep that excitement for that thing the next day, the next day. I promise if you do that for a month, and not even a month, if you do it for just 2 weeks, just the bare minimum, you will notice it's much easier for you to keep doing that new thing and doing that new thing. And now slowly you can start doing more and more and more until you reach the point where you're doing a lot, but your motivation is not leaving because you've built up to that level and now you can sustain it. Rather than you jumping from that level and then falling down because you can't sustain it, you've built up. Now remember, take action, stay consistent, make your goals happen. I will see you later.